Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Before we get into the thick of it, a little bit of bad news to get out of the way for some of you. So after 5 years and 255 plus weekends of putting out technical analysis videos, I am no longer going to be putting out public weekend content. I'm going to be reserving my weekend time for member content, and that's just going to save me some time. And when you start to look at the numbers over years, even just saving 5 minutes adds up being dozens and dozens of hours of my life. It's been great. I appreciate all the support in the comments. Hope it's been helpful. I'll still be here Monday through Thursday, but again, weekend time will no longer be public. Checking in on the market, so a fairly uneventful day in the sense that it was a daily inside bar for SPY, which means the range of today fit completely within the range of yesterday. You can see the RSI is cooling off, so this is healthy consolidation at this point. Anything above 307.66 is a daily high or low. If we break this inside bar bullish tomorrow, that's our daily high or low at 309.06. I drank a beer. If we see a bear break, that means our daily high or low has not been set yet, and we're looking at 307.66 as that support. So where did we reject? Not surprising. Previous support now acting as resistance. And yesterday at the end of the day on that bounce, we topped out just under 311. And today the high of the day was 310.83 in the afternoon after pulling back just under 311 to start the morning. So that gives us now previous support, 311 acting as resistance. We'll see how this inside bar breaks. Look at the daily 12-period exponential support. At this point, that has been support for the last month and almost 2 weeks, almost 6 weeks now. And if this inside bar breaks bearish, we will lose that support, and that will be the another indication to be watching for weekly consolidation to be underway. So how that inside bar breaks to end the week tomorrow will be fairly important. IWM, daily inside bar as well. Actually, we broke the low of yesterday by 3 pennies, but I consider that a double bottom. 157.19, 157.26, and 23. It's a triple low at this level. If that level breaks, I consider it a failed bull flag attempt, where we look at the weekly chart and we say, okay, that was a bull flag, and you could still say, it still is, but what we saw was a little daily higher low, higher high, and right here we fail to break resistance. If we are going to be a bull flag and have conviction by the bulls, we need to see that bull break lead to resistances breaking and that weekly confirmation. Again, we're now closing under the daily 12-period exponential support for the first time in 6 weeks, 5 weeks, and that is notable. So weekly consolidation continues for IWM, and still a possible bull flag, but if we drop down towards 156, I'd say under 156, the odds of a weekly bull flag then diminish. And on any consolidation that we look at, we always want to know, is it a continuation kind of consolidation, or is it more of an equilibrium kind of consolidation? Right now, it still favors continuation, but we're on the verge of a short-term bear break. QQQ, daily inside bar. If it breaks bearish, the daily high or low is 222. That'll be right there. Same thing with the exponential support. And on the verge of giving some indication of weekly consolidation, it's currently a bearish reversal candlestick. And even if we see a green day tomorrow, it could still remain a bearish reversal doji on the weekly time frame. XLF, another one that I consider failed at this point, but still hasn't rolled over. If we break 29.45 support on XLF, that will be notable because, again, it's the high, low of healthy consolidation, failure to break resistance and see continuation, and now we're still holding support. But if that breaks, we zoom out for weekly consolidation to be underway. XLV looks great, closing strong. Still a lot of resistance right at 98. We've rejected with 4 tops at 98. But as long as we hold 97.01, we pretty much have a double bottom at 97 and a quadruple top at 98. And those are the 2 levels to be watching in the short term. Biotech sector also holding on with a daily inside bar. And we'll be watching to see if we lose the hourly uptrend tomorrow. We've got our high, low, lower high, higher low. Anything under 87.76 is a lower high. So an hourly equilibrium. Bulls are on the verge of a break. Ran out of time at the end of the day. And if we break bullish, the move continues. If we break bearish, daily consolidation is underway. Bulls have a lot more space to form a daily higher low on XBI than on most of the sectors that we just looked at. The VIX. So bulls trying to buy the dip. Again, no real clear direction, just choppy sideways action on the VIX. And building a base down at the $12 range, resistance at the $14 range, and pretty much just waiting for a close above or below one of those levels. Gold pulling back now. The possibility of the weekly bear flag is absolutely still there. So bulls need to be cautious here. Daily support is 1456. We have lost our hourly support. It ended up being, I should say the 4 hour, ended up being the 4 hour head and shoulders we pointed out as the possibility in the last video. That has confirmed. So daily consolidation is underway, rejecting from the daily exponential resistance all week. And it's all about 1456. If that level breaks, odds of a weekly bear flag increase a good bit. Silver consolidating as well, not as much. Anything above 1672 is the daily higher low, but it is also struggling at the daily exponential resistance as well. Still a weekly bear flag. The burden of proof on the precious metals is on the bulls to prove that it is not a weekly bear flag. Bull miners pulled back significantly today and closed at the low of the day. So again, the bear miners, we're viewing this as still in a daily uptrend. Here's the 2-day chart, and we can view it as high, low, double top, higher low, and key resistance is 857 and 856, and we'll be looking for a bull break in dust if we see a weekly bear flag confirm in the precious metals. I don't imagine that we will see the weekly bear flags confirm if we see consolidation in the market. Seems like that would be something that could keep the bulls holding on, but that remains to be seen. I think we would need to see a bit more significant follow through on market consolidation to give us the possibility that maybe we do lose the daily uptrend on this pullback. Oil, big fake out. So fortunately, I have not been trading oil because I definitely would have been faked out here. And we lost a bunch of support, and the oil inventory report completely changed that. So definitely fundamental reaction here where the pivot point was right on that inventory report, and that was yesterday at 10:30. So again, it was a weak bounce at that point. Look where the volume showed up. Inventory report, volume with continuation today. So I definitely would have been stopped out had I been in a position. And our weekly lower high has not been set yet. But what this does do is makes it a less clear pattern for me personally. So bulls do still have control. We did break resistance, got up to 1564. 4 hour time frame, anything above 56.59 is a 4 hour higher low. And what this does for me as a trader, and again, being a trader that has agility to trade marijuana stocks, cryptocurrency, commodities, tech sector, that just means when something like this happens, I move on to something else because the clarity has been lost to the setup. I want crystal clear equilibriums. I want clear oversold bounce plays. I want clarity, and this now with this bear break into a bull break erases that clarity for me. There's definitely clarity on some time frames. The 4 hour time frame the last 2 days is very clear. But the bottom line is I want to have pretty much, we can be picky. And if we're comfortable with technical analysis to be in multiple different sectors and markets, then we can be very picky with our setups that we choose to play. So I'll wait a while for oil to give me a setup that I like. Natural gas, still consolidating. Inventory report today. Didn't really see a ton of action. Anything under 266 is still a lower high. But this is fairly contained consolidation in the sense that we see the low and the lower high and lower low. The bears don't get much follow through before we start to bounce. So we are still looking for this weekly higher low. There's lower wicks on these candlesticks the last 2 weeks. There's no red flag on this weekly consolidation at this point. If we were to see high bear volume and follow through on a lower low, that would definitely get our attention and the bears would prove themselves. But it's worth scouting for the daily trend to change to give us a weekly higher low. as the bulls try and set their sights back on 2782. Also watching the exponential bull cross here on the weekly time frame, which has not happened since the huge spike and pullback. And bulls are trying to hold that back test of that support. That's just more of a visual guide, watching for the shift in momentum. For me, all that matters is, can the bulls change the daily trend? Let's see what the 12-hour time frame looks like. Just a tiny bit more detail than the daily. So if I were going to get an ideal setup, I would see a rejection from 266 and then a daily inverse head and shoulders pattern to change the trend. Left shoulder, this would be the head. If we failed 266, it's the right shoulder, or I should say the right neckline. Then we form the daily higher low on the right shoulder. Then there's the daily trend change to give us the weekly higher low. That's what I would want to see, because I can make a bull entry on that daily higher low and use a stop of 2464, the low of this pullback. So that's where we stand overall. And we're either going to get an indication, pretty much how the inside bar breaks tomorrow is going to increase the odds significantly or not, as to whether or not weekly consolidation is likely next week. Keeping in mind it's a shortened week, 3.5 trading days next week with the holiday. Thanks again, and I will see you Monday. So I've already mentioned Yanni a couple times here. Big fan of Yanni, and went and saw him in concert. My buddy is a painter, so I commissioned a portrait of Yanni, and I finally hung it up.